everybody. It is the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. It is 2 a.m. in Gaza City. Normally the streets are empty. The location is dark except for the occasional flame from a landing rocket or missile and the sounds of an outgoing barrage of missiles. But at 2 a.m. on this night, there is a ceasefire. It is not peace. It is not freedom. It is not anything other than a ceasefire. For however brief, both sides have agreed to quit firing upon each other. And it has just gone into effect. So for the first time in 11 days, people can take to the streets in Gaza peacefully and without concern. They can decompress. They can honk their horns and celebrate that they're still alive. The same is true for those on the Israeli side. And for the rest of the world, a ceasefire is a very, very good thing coming at the time it has. Again, thanks for joining everybody. It is the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. We're going to be cutting back and forth between some things here. Again, if you are just joining us, this is a live shot. Wow, we just about saw people get hit. This is a live shot from the streets of Gaza City. Normally dark and with the exception of the occasional emergency vehicles at 2 o'clock in the morning. It is 2 a.m. there and people are out in force, able to come out for the first time in the past 11 days. Now, earlier in the week, we had shots of a protest in New York City. There was another one this afternoon, and the guy that provides the live stream, well, I'll just let you watch.
Usually, you'll be arrested for unlawful assembly. This is the New York City Police Department. This assembly is unlawful. You are ordered to disperse.
And that's what it looks like when sounds like when a phone gets stomped on. Thizzle being detained by New York City police officers there. One of the streamers we use in New York City, obviously. Hello to everybody. Arthur Bacon, Salty Granny, thank you so much for everything you do. Let me get up here. Tracy, Vic, how you doing? Mama Rose, Prince Charles, the Q edition. Carl, T-Rex.
But he always made sure that he went around shoving women around and putting his hand on women.
Now we've got Smooth View now. And this is Elizabeth City, North Carolina. This is Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Footage from Smooth View. The march is live. Last night, the police intervened and arrested a total of 9 people, including the 2 live streamers we normally use from here that are, well, I shouldn't say normally because we've used a lot of different streamers from Elizabeth City. This has been going on and it's been going on peacefully. There's been nothing burned, nothing destroyed, nothing looted. It's just been voices in the street, and they are coming to the end of the protest. That's why I wanted to cut to this quickly live. Mr. Black, I missed you somehow in the running down the list here, I think. Shalom. Shalom, shalom. Solemn. Peace, love. We need more of it in the world. Namaste. Blessings, greetings. A peaceful protest here. Again, I'm just going to be on for a few minutes here live and just kind of give a wrap up of what's been going on. Last night we had indeed the arrests in Elizabeth City, and we had that on the live episode. Everyone was out later that night or early morning, and no one was kept overnight. Lots of questions about what happened in Elizabeth City last night. People were being taken in and not read their rights, and there was question about that. Question about arresting people on the sidewalks, a lot of things that were questionable. And if you didn't see it, go back and check that episode out. As far as I reached out to someone and they said that if police are detaining you, they don't have to read you your rights. If they are arresting you, they have to offer you the option of having your rights read to you. So that could be the that small discrepancy could be what's you know, what's one of the issues in lack of communication. But again, a peaceful march that has just come to an end, and we're going to go back to Gaza City. Also a march in, now the march we shown in New York, that was a pro-Palestinian march that had been met with pro-Israeli counter-protesters. And the live had just gone up as things began to kick off between the two groups. So if I get some other footage on that, you will be seeing that in an upcoming episode. Let's see. Crystal Fox, hello. How are you? I'm hanging in there. I'm honestly, I'm relieved. I'm relieved there's a ceasefire, much like I was. Um, I felt relief when Derek Chauvin was um, found guilty. And again, that there's a motion before the court to have that all thrown out and redone, which I hope is I hope is denied because the country doesn't need to go through all of that again. Um, but yes, I'm feeling relieved because there's a ceasefire. Despite the name American Doofus, I'm not under a false impression that this is peace. There are so many layers that with before anything resembling peace could exist, and it starts with Palestinians being able to live where they've been living for decades, and also the oh the Temple Mount lost in I didn't deal with a lot of religion while covering what was going on for several reasons. Number one of which it's very complex, but there is while the Al-Aqsa Mosque was violated in the terms in the views of most of the world and specifically the Muslim world, the Al-Aqsa Mosque is still standing and it is still functioning. Had either one of those not been the case, we wouldn't have a ceasefire. And the same thing with the Dome of the Rock. Now, the problem with those two facilities is there's a group amongst Israel that that believes that the temple, the third temple of God, needs to be built on the Temple Mount, and in order to do that, the Dome of the Rock and the Al-Aqsa Mosque would have to be removed. So again, that's just a little point. That's just one point of contention or possible contention. So it's a long way from peace. All right, it is a ceasefire. They're going to stop shooting at each other for a while, and hopefully it's ad nauseum. Hopefully the ceasefire exists for decades and progress is made in the political realm, in the peaceful realm. But I don't know. We'll see how long the ceasefire lasts. Only time will tell. It's a dark world. Benjamin Netanyahu hated Obama simply because he was black. T-Rex, a lot of people did. A lot of people did. The views and expressed opinions here on the American Doofus are not exactly the views of Hamas. No, they're not. No, of course they're not. No, they're not the views of Hamas. They're not the views of Israel. They're not the views of a lot of people that view the show. They're just things to think about. Obama hated Netanyahu simply because he was Jewish. I don't know about that. But the reason I got back into politics after my first excursion and after I was no longer naive, after I found out what really happens in Washington, D.C., and I'll talk about all that at some point. I don't know, maybe not. I've got a book written. But I got back into politics because of Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is Jewish. Bernie Sanders also has a resolution he's going to put up to stop the 700 plus, I think it's $700 million arms sale to Israel. So we'll see how that goes. But that is a pretty big statement from Bernie. And in upcoming episodes, I'm going to touch on the fact that was it a wise move for everyone to back off? Because in order for Hamas backed off, probably because Iran said it's getting too tense. We need to back off. And remember we saw the people of Palestine celebrating earlier in Gaza, and those people aren't the ones fighting. Those are the people that are suffering. So we need to celebrate their celebration, if you will. Just like if you're a white person in America, like this dude here with the hat, or this dude here who's, I don't know what he is. Just because we have lived lives different from others, and we need to remember that and not discount the experiences of others, or the life history of others, specifically other communities within this melting pot of America. We need to try to see the humanity in each other more, instead of the differences. And let's go back to Gaza. And take a look back in. Again, there was a pro-Palestinian march in, actually still underway in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This is live from the streets of Gaza. Official True Soldier, what's up? Officer Max. Officer Mac, it is good to have you. True Soldier, glad to see you back on here, man. Glad to know you're safe. Jazz guitar. Nothing wrong with some jazz guitar. I got a couple of friends. One of them is a really good jazz player. I know what you're saying, Salty Granny, but unfortunately too many people do. Officer Mack, no, Israel doesn't give any funding to Hamas. Most of the funding comes from Qatar, I believe, in actual dollars. Egypt provides a lot of tangible assistance, if you will, as far as medical supplies and supply type assistance, whereas Qatar, however it's pronounced depending on the newscast, I think that's who provides a lot of the funding for the Palestinian land section in Israel. And in Gaza, that's Hamas. In the West Bank, in the northern part, it's Palestinian Liberation Organization and Fatah. So there are factions. Oh, there are, yes, there are connections with Iran. There are connections with Turkey, um, and Russia was saying that Russia's kind of claiming Syria now as its own territory, and was saying that Russia was going to get involved because their border was in danger, and the only border close to being in danger was Syria. So a lot of things never, a lot of things never um, lined up as they could have very easily lined up, especially if there wasn't a ceasefire at this point. T-Rex, no, that never happened. Um, Obama did call people up and say, hey, we've got to stop Bernie from getting the nomination because he's liable to be president. Hello, General McBride Brigade. Oh, and again, just going to do a brief half hour live as we look at the streets of Gaza. Occasional fireworks. Oh, there's going to be an accident or somebody's going to get hit in this shot we've been watching. There are too many close calls. But this is what the streets of the Gaza portion of the Palestinian land within that sector known as Israel is located, and what it looks like at about 20 minutes after 2 in the morning. Normally dark, normally desolate, with the exception of emergency vehicles um, responding to missiles landing or rockets or mortars. Whereas Israel was getting more and more used to hearing warning sirens almost on a consistent basis as thousands upon thousands of rockets were launched towards the Iron Dome, which without that Iron Dome, this would be a totally different situation as well. And in an upcoming episode, we're going to look at the power of the military around the world in various locations. Okay. It's not really surprising. Netanyahu's pretty right wing. It's not really surprising he wouldn't like Obama. And plus, Obama was trying to make it a little easier on the Palestinians. So I'm going to switch to one final clip here. I've been wanting to get on for a while before we go. Trying to make it a little that's weird. That's really crazy. I just clipped to my own live. That was not what was what we were supposed to click to. Hang with me for just a moment here. Okay, now technology is great when it works, but you got to be able to, hopefully this will work now. I won't put us back to, here we go. Okay, this is what I wanted to end on. It'll be interesting to go back and watch and see what that looked like with
Hey, leave him alone, man.
okay. Thank you all for watching. Wanted to close with that. That is the Silver Cowboy in Australia, well-known street performer in Australia, and you know, don't mess with the Silver Cowboy. You'll have a great night. I will be back on live if something does break. Officer Mac. Brazil, China, Egypt, Iran, Norway, Qatar, Russia, Syria, Turkey. Yeah, we can probably add North Korea in there just for giggles. T-Rex being Bernie didn't walk out, instead participated in treason on the floor of the Capitol to hear Netanyahu. Okay. Well, that's a way of looking at it, I guess. Actually, Silver Cowboys and Silver Face, but I hear what you're saying. Thank you all for watching. I love you all. Have a great night. Again, if something breaks, we'll be back on live. Everything seems to be peaceful, thankfully, for a change. And if it stays that way, I'm going to take tomorrow night off and be back on Saturday. Of course, if something major happens tomorrow, I won't be taking the night off, but I just need a night to decompress, if you will. So thank you all for watching. Love you all. Sincerely mean that. If you want to help support the show, it's $American Doofus, all one word, through the Cash App. and or you can email me at americandoofus.com, and that's the way to contact me, best way to contact me. So thank you all. Love you all. It is a dark world. Try to be a light, shed a little love. Shalom, salam, peace, love, namaste. Until next time, it's the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. I love you.